Okay, what's up guys? Today's video is really important and you guys have to watch the entire video because today I'm going to be talking about how to activate the back muscle. And this is so important because so many people, 90% of the people I see in the gym are not doing it perfectly. Most people, maybe they're doing it kind of right, but then today after watching this video, you really master your back activation. So if you're someone who kind of have your back growth kind of stuck, or if you're just a beginner and you don't know how to work out your back, this video is perfect for you and you want to watch till the end. Alright guys, so we're going to head to this gym right now. Okay, so the back is a complicated muscle, so we'll talk about it before we go into the exercises. Alright, so for most people, you just have to understand the back as 2 or 3 main parts. First we have the upper back, which is from here onwards. Then we have the middle back, which encompasses just the lats, and then the lower back, which is just this portion here. So for today's video, we are going to only focus on the middle back and upwards because who trains their lower back, right? Alright, so let's go a little bit more into the upper back. So for the upper back, we have the trapezius, which is this muscle here, going all the way right here. So you can see he has developed upper traps, but like most people, you don't have very developed middle and lower traps. So the function of the upper traps is to shrug your shoulders. So can you shrug? So you can see that these are activating. Alright, the next muscle we have is the teres minor, teres major, which are over here. And these are going to help you for a bit of your rolls. So can you do a roll? So rolls, you can see it activating right here. And some of your pull downs as well. So do a pull down, you can see it activating right here. Okay, the next muscle group we have is the middle traps. And then the rhomboids, which lie underneath it. And what they're in charge of is for rolls. So do a roll again. A vertical roll, and like a horizontal roll, yeah, perfect. And you can see it activating right here. Okay, the last muscle group we're going to talk about is the lats here. Alright, so the lats is involved in vertical pulling, so you pull down, do a pull down, do a pull down. So most people do pull downs like this, which activates your upper back. You want to activate, you're going to bring your elbows forward, do a pull down like this, and then you activate your lats. So these are the muscle groups that we're going to talk about today, and then we're going to go straight into the exercises right now. Okay, the first exercise we're going to talk about, the dumbbell row. A lot of people say that they're doing the dumbbell rows to train their lats, but what I see is they're actually training the upper back unknowingly. So technically they're still getting some back gains, but they're not getting the exact back gains they want. You want to train the lats, which is here, you're going to pull in a very specific way. So let me show you guys. So I'm going to show you guys the wrong way first. Alright, and the wrong way is to actually pull. Remember how I showed you on my human model just now how to activate the upper back muscles? You have to roll like this, activating your upper back right here. If you want to activate your lats, you have to keep your elbows close into your body. And this is going to be a recurring theme throughout today's video, and I'll emphasize this over and over again. If you want to activate your lats, keep your elbows close to your body, like this. Okay? So for dumbbell rows, this is the wrong way. I see people doing like this. And isn't it obvious that I'm activating a lot of my traps, my teres, my rhomboids, all the muscles that are over here, and I'm neglecting the muscles that are here. Alright, so how do we activate the lats? Very simple. From here, you want to drive the elbows backwards like this, almost like with a straight arm, but you want to bend your arm as you go halfway. So like this, and then bend and squeeze. Can you see how close that the dumbbell is to my hip? You want to pull the dumbbells towards your hip and really try to squeeze the muscle that's right here. Try to not activate this. So this is the first major difference, and once you are able to master both variations, so you can target your upper back when you want to target your upper back, and target your lats when you want to target your lats, then you'll be able to master this exercise. Now let's move on to the next one. Okay, the next exercise we're going to talk about is a normal row. And here we have someone to demonstrate, so let's come over. So you can see the way that he's rowing, there's a lot of trap activation, right? Then you have the teres activation, rhomboids activation. You guys saw that. So that's a fantastic example of how you want to do rows for your upper back. I'll loop the video over for you guys, you saw that his elbows were nice and high, rowing like this. And this is actually how most people do their rows, but yet then they say, oh, I'm training my lats. So make sure you're aware of which muscle group that you're training. So we just saw how to do rows to activate your upper back. Now we want to activate the lats. And how do we do that? What I say just now for the dumbbell rows, what do? we keep our elbows close in. Alright, so I'm going to take my shirt off now and I'm going to show you guys how we actually activate the lats. So to activate the lats, which are over here, you're going to have to keep the elbows close into your body, and you want to be bringing the elbows from here to here. Bring it in like this. So you have to bring it in, squeezing the lats right here. Squeeze. Squeeze. Okay, so moving on to the exercise itself. But before we start exercise, which handle do we want to use for this exercise? Well, we always have a lot of options in the gym. We have this kind, the V-bar, and we have something like this, like a straight bar. Okay, generally, I prefer something that helps you to keep your grip in a neutral grip. Something like this, rather than this. Because obviously when you grab a straight bar, you can see that my elbows kind of flare out. And when it flares out like this, remember what happened to the human model just now when he flares out his elbow and bring it backwards, you're actually activating your upper back. Whereas when you bring it in close like this, you can, like what I just showed you guys, activate your lats. So you want to choose a handle that best allows you to do this. This can vary from person to person, and once you're an expert, honestly, with a straight bar, you can also try to keep your elbows in and pull like this. But generally, I find that most beginners, if they keep their elbows in, pull like this, they can activate a lot of forearms. Right? You can see, right, just pulling like this. You can imagine you're going to be doing a lot of this rather than lats. Alright, so for starters, just use a V-bar. Alright, so over here, attaching the V-bar to the handle. Attaching the V-bar to the handle. Okay. We want to focus on one important thing here. What is it again? Repeat it after me. Bringing the elbows close to the body and squeezing the lats. Alright, so squeezing like this, bring it elbows back and down if you can. Squeeze. Letting it stretch out and squeeze. Alright. The next super important thing to note. Alright, you're going to bring the camera closer, zoom in if you can. Alright, very important thing to note. The main movement is here at the shoulder. So what I mean by this, when you're rowing, most people are pulling a lot with the arms. Okay, all this does not matter. What matters is what happens here. If you see me pull, you're going to be moving the shoulder. Alright, what I see is a lot of people, when they're doing their rows, they're not even moving this at all. So it's just like this. And really, you're not using much of your back, whether it's your lats or your upper back. So for all rowing movements, another recurring theme, always involve the moving of your shoulders. So watch again as I pull. Shoulders are forward, moving back as far as I can, squeezing. You see that? See my shoulders are coming forward to stretch the back. Now they're going back, squeeze, stretch. Super important, guys. Then this is the next master thing. The next thing that you have to do to really master your back. Next, I'm covering the pull down motions, whether it's a machine pull down, a cable pull down, a lat pull down with your body weight, whatever it is, alright? For pull downs, most people like say, oh, pull downs is for width, pull downs for lats, but it's really how you do it. So if I pull down like this, it's all gonna be upper back. Okay, wait, let me take off my shirt. So if I pull down like this, you can see it's all upper back. Okay. Whereas if I pull down from here to like this, okay, it looks like it's upper back again because my traps are huge, but I'm just kidding. It looks like upper back, but honestly, when you're pulling down like this, you're going to be activating your lats. Recurring theme again, guys. What is it? The recurring theme is you have to pull your elbows close to your body in order to activate the lats. Alright, so we're going to do that for the lat pull down. Okay, so for pull down like this, remember if you're pulling high, if your elbows are coming down high like this, like that, you're going to activate your upper back. So you want to bring it in front, all the way down, close to your body, squeeze. And that's where you activate your lats. Okay, so let me show you guys. Have a nice arc in your back, pull it down in front of you, and come back down to your lower chest. So the bar touches the lower chest, and up. Down, and up. And the tip here really is to feel that stretch in the lat. Because when you feel the stretch in the muscle, generally it's easier to activate the muscle. So if you're feeling the stretch in the wrong part of your back, you know you're going to be activating the wrong part of your back. Okay, here I'm going to talk about another pro tip, something that I learned really early on and has both its pros and cons for a pro tip. Alright, so when you want to activate your back more, you want to be placing all the emphasis for the weights generally on the outer fingers, so your pinkies, rather than your thumb. Because the thing is, when you put a lot of weight on the thumb, when you squeeze, you're going to activate a lot of forearms, a lot of biceps. Generally, when you put it on your pinkies, you're going to be able to activate and transfer the force better to your back. So when it comes to handles like these, it's good if you have something like this, where you can kind of hold it mostly with your outer fingers. Or even if you have a straight bar, you can be trying to squeeze more with your outer fingers than the inner ones. So this will really help to accentuate that back activation, and trust me, it will make loads of difference if you just make this one change. But a word of caution, so I've been doing this for a very long time using this method, and what this does actually is it places a lot of stress on the muscles on the outer forearm, and this over time can actually cause you chronic forearm problems. So as some of you guys might know, I have some golfer's elbow because I've been just training too hard and training in this style. So sometimes you want to give this area of your forearm a break, so you want to be using the inner part of your hands as well. Anyway, over time, as you master the technique, you'll be able to activate your back whichever way you do it, even without hands. No, I'm just kidding. Alright, moving on to the next tip. Okay, probably the last exercise we'll be covering today, which is a straight arm pull down. Another exercise that I see being done, maybe 5 out of 10 people do it correctly, and only maybe about 2 out of those 5 people do it maximally, like at its best benefit. Alright, so I'm going to tell you guys how to really reap the benefits of this exercise. Okay, so for this exercise, what are we targeting? We're really targeting the lats here, because the entire exercise, we're going to bring our elbows close in like this throughout. So it's really not for your upper back. Okay, so the lats, the muscle group that we're talking about, is right here, and we want to feel the stretch on the lats before we start. Okay, so I'm going to grab the weight like this, pulling it back off the weight stack, and feeling the stretch, okay, right here. So from here, I'm going to make the machine do what I want it to do, okay, which is to contract the lats. That's the best way to think about it if you want to really maximize the activation of your lats. Don't think about it of like moving downwards and backwards and all that. Just think, what do you want your lats to do? You want your lats to squeeze. And the only way to squeeze is this way. So you want to make the machine do that, okay? So from here, coming down, squeezing. And I think you can come from the back. You see from the back, the stretch in the lat, okay, the stretch, and squeeze. Squeeze. Stretch. Squeeze. Okay, so you want to focus as you come back. You can also do a little bit of this. So bring your shoulder blades back to really activate the back fully. Okay. So a problem that I see a lot of people doing is that as they're doing their lat pull downs, their shoulders are rounded forward the whole time. So you see this happening. They're pulling like this. See? My back is still in a stretched position, not a contracted position. So how is it going to activate? So from here, if you want to maximize it, you have to chest up. Alright? Chest up, squeeze the shoulder blades, and really activate that back. Okay? The last thing I want to talk about this exercise is the handles. Okay, so the handles, you can use anything you want that makes you feel the most back activation. The problem is with straight bar handles, once again, remember with the rows, with straight bar handles, your elbows from a close in position, it goes out. So when it comes out like this and you do a straight arm pull down, you see where my elbows are at? It's not close in. How do you activate your lats like that? Right? It'll be like this. So you are half activating your lats, but you're not fully activating your lats. Okay? So you want to use, if you want to use a straight bar, just make sure that your elbows are always kind of tucked in and squeezed like that. Make sure the shoulders are not rounded forward, squeeze back. Okay, I'm going to demo the exercise one more time. Let's do 10 reps of it. You can stand right here.
Alright guys, so some tips that I forgot to mention. When you're doing this exercise, as you can see, you want to lock the angle of your arms. You don't want to be bending it and then straightening it and then bending and then straightening, because that's going to turn it into a triceps exercise. Okay, And the next thing you want to do is you want to focus on pulling the weight from your elbow. So that's a cue that I always tell all my clients. Alright, you want to be dragging the weight from your elbow rather than from your wrist.
Okay guys, that's about the end of the video. Let's have a recap before we really wrap up this whole thing. Okay, so first thing, your back has different functions. You can really break it down into rowing functions, targeting your upper back, or pulling down functions, which target your lat in general. But remember, I said that if you want to target your lats, you have to pull, whichever, whether you're rowing or you're doing pull downs, you pull with your elbows close to your body. That's tip number one. Number two, if you want to activate your back in general, you have to mobilize your shoulder. Okay, don't let it be fixed, make sure it's mobile. So the more you can bring your shoulders back, the more you can squeeze your back. Alright, number three, remember that the weight, where you distribute the weight on your palm is really important. You want to try to distribute the weight over here at the outer part of your hand and try not to overly squeeze the bar. If not, you'll be activating your upper arm. Okay, that's most of the master tips for back, and I don't think I left anything out. If you guys have anything else you want to learn, comment down in the comments below and like this video if you learned something new, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. See you guys.